Welcome back to the Seraphiend podcast and also my YouTube channel. Check out Seraphiend and you can see it audio, visually, everything that you need to see, and my awesome outfit with my Dylan Lex jewelry. And you will get to see this gorgeous woman next to me. This is Kara Gutierrez. Hello.
Which camera do I?
Oh, you're
make love
all,
to?
you
That
are
one?
all the cameras. You are here.
Listen, we just started.
Well, I know. And cheers, by the way.
Cheers,
Let's do
baby.
it.
Yes.
As we reach, Kara's birthday is tomorrow.
Well, we're celebrating.
We're celebrating, yes.
It's a whole month.
I love it. I love it. It's like it's Hanukkah. It's Koronica.
Ooh. Oh.
I love it. So we've had Kara on the show before. And if you haven't listened to her first episode, please scroll back. I'll look up the number. We'll post it in our little details below. But I'd like to just give a little background. So Kara and I met each other many years ago, and I was actually a client of hers when she was first in this quaint little tattoo parlor here downtown. And there was a nervousness in me because I was going to get my eyebrows microbladed at the time. And I love tattoos, but I also, you usually get tattoos with friends or you know the tattoo. Yeah. So this tattoo parlor, it's downtown and it looked a little
It's
bit
a street shop.
Yeah, it's a street shop, totally. And then, I'm leaded back to this room, and here is this beautiful woman with this like soft little lilt of like a Southern accent just a bit. And she's got this just perfectly like pristine, like your room, clean as a freaking whistle, so pretty, like your space, you made it your own in this very manly tattoo
I'm
shop.
gonna tell you something. I had to put lipstick on a pig. Have you heard of that?
Oh my.
I was in a tattoo shop in the hood. It's a street shop with people who are still like my boys. Like,
Yeah, they're good guys.
there was no drama.
Yeah.
They're guys.
They're guys, yeah.
You're so sweet. Drink some more.
I know.
But we said we're gonna turn the tits up.
I
'Cause
love
we're
it.
gonna talk about it today.
Yes, we are
We're
gonna
turn
turn
it
it.
up. I might take this jacket off, but it's
Yes.
cute. But regardless, you came in and I hustled you back because I saw you. I'm like, this gorgeous girl's gonna run away. I need you for photos. And that was literally like my excitement to hurry up and get you back. And then you're so like, I'm over here like trying to welcome you like it's safe space. And I'm like, I feel safe.
Oh, I love
Be my friend.
I loved you from the minute I met you. And the other thing that I will communicate to listeners is, if you've never gotten a tattoo before, obviously it's painful. I mean, no matter how much you want to muscle up and say it isn't, to get microblading or getting, now I do tattooed eyebrows. It's not an experience that's like a lot of fun.
Well, like
right?
kids, they wouldn't
It's-
keep having them if
No.
it didn't hurt that bad, but
Yeah.
kids suck too.
Totally. And at the end of the day, you want somebody that is going to lead you through this in a way that you, number one, can just get through. If you've got a high pain or low pain threshold, you want someone to be by your side. And also it's vulnerable. You're getting something permanently done on your body, and you want to trust, especially when it comes to parts of your body that are precious, like your face. And we're going to talk about some other areas here that you tattoo. You want to feel safe, and and you're scared, and you want to feel like it's going to turn out to be beautiful. And you do that. And on top of it, you offer of yourself in a way that it's not just going in for a technical procedure.
Yeah.
You talk about life, love, the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
You talk about it all, and you open up your heart. And
Thank you.
that's why I love you for it.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump in.
Let's do it.
The reason why she's here back today is, number one, she's a friend, and I love talking to her. But number two, your business, Beyond Kara Spot On Beauty, has, number one, blown up, and number two, the side of you that just makes my heart feel like the Grinch that grew like how many sizes big. your philanthropy and your work that you're doing in the community now is so impressive. So let's talk about what has happened since our last year ago to now, and explain what has evolved from just tattooing on arms and eyebrows to what you do for our community.
Right. Well, technically, if you want to do the title, I'm just a tattoo artist and a licensed and insured tattoo artist. I do body art, paramedical tattooing, and then obviously the permanent makeup. So a year. So I did areola tattoos, and I've been doing them for a long time. I see about 30, 35 at least a month. So it is my little heart project that I did the free breast cancer, or if you've had your breast taken off, removed due to cancer or the BRCA gene, I will give you free tattoos. Because the first lady I ever tattooed, I was like, hey, do you have any tattoos? I was doing your brows. Yeah. And she's like, yeah. And she flashes me, and she's got orange nipples that were tattooed. Yeah. I was like, what is that? And she's like, well, this is my tattoo I got from the hospital. I'm like, listen, I'm a tattoo artist. I know how to tattoo. Can I just see if I can do it? She's like, yeah, go for it. And I did it. And then she's like, oh my God, it's amazing. And I was like, no, I don't want to charge anything because I don't know how it's going to heal. Because I sell healed results. That is what I'm fighting against too, is healed results. We can go into that later. Yeah. Fast forward a year later, now I'm contracting out of lots of hospitals, and I have my nonprofit. But I was talking to you earlier, I was like, it's like my little baby that I don't want to tell anybody about too much because I don't think I can handle the load. And I kept thinking about, well, what I can do, and then I'm spreading myself too thin. Yeah. And then I love this work, and why I'm making it work is not at all what I'm doing, what I was there for. So I decided, let me ask and phone a friend. And now I'm doing a nonprofit fundraiser and found that for the foundation because it's blown up so much. Yeah. And I don't know how much to get into all the subjects that I've got to say here today, but just to, throw it out there, a lot more women, and even men, they're getting breast cancer, and it's because they did not do preventative mammograms, or they felt something funky.
And they ignored it?
Even up here. Yeah. If you're feeling up here, I'm going to touch my boobs a lot. You're welcome, guys. But a woman found hers up here, and I did a video. I've yet to edit and post it. And this was breast cancer up here. Yeah. So I was like, y'all check yourself, right? Yeah. Well, no one was doing it. Now the cancer for breast cancer is just through the roof.
Well, and I mean, to be honest, I just got my boobs done right before COVID.
You better shout it out.
And I love them, but I also am very hyper aware of how different my body feels. And I also have these moments where you feel discomfort or whatever. Yeah. And you go into this headspace of just kind of ignoring things no matter what. Yeah. And I now know through my doctor who gave them to me that I have to be very diligent every year looking, getting my mammogram. Plus I'm 44. But on top
You're
of
so
that,
hot.
Thank you. I also am looking at the fact that I'm in a place now to where I have insurance. I can go see a doctor regularly. But if you talk to me at age 34, and I didn't have, I had the base of tiniest coverage. In New York, I could barely pay for my dog to have food.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing how you avoid the very thing that you should never avoid is your own health. Yeah. And I was never going to the doctor. I would only go when I was sick. Mm-hmm. And then now I think about if I was in that time during COVID, and if I had felt something the denial phase of, well, I don't need to leave my house anyway. And it's too expensive. So
girl, listen, my man is a medical doctor. Okay. Mm-hmm. He treats trauma, does surgeries. He does lots of things. So I kind of have a little bit of a leg up for that. And then in COVID, he treated, research was a hub for it. And so he's at research, and and he was the doctor that was treating COVID patients. So you want to talk about someone who has like probably a straight, beeline to knowing the up-to-date stuff in the middle of it, the thick. I was afraid of air. Okay.
Yeah.
I was afraid to walk outside of my house, and I'm like, okay, now that's me with my knowledge, and I'm thinking sometimes I could be smart and pretty at the same time. But at that point, I'm like, hold on. Think of some of these people who have zero knowledge. God only knows what they're hearing and seeing, and they feel that, lump or something. They're not going to go for health. And, since this is all talking about breast cancer, this is like, it's not going to be some boring talk about breast cancer and all the things, but it's just awareness. That's the point of this. Yeah. But it's bigger than ever. And so this year, going back to that kind of question, is people are not aware, and not just people who have cancer or might. The general public does not know that you've got to understand insurance won't cover everything. They're not going to cover the nipple tattoos because it's cosmetic. Then because it's cosmetic, and some of them that do, they'll get someone who has zero knowledge of color theory, how ink heals, how to properly tattoo scarred skin, because it is a craft that a skilled artist plus tattooer, and having the proper sanitation and safety and just the practice of, how to, not cross-contaminate, all the things combined, okay? And if they get it done, but they won't pay for it for much longer. It is a tattoo that has to be touched up throughout the years. I mean, some of it's like, every 10 years or so. But do you want for 10 years an orange tattoo? No. Or green, purple. Yeah, rainbow's a color. So I'm doing a lot of corrective work. I want to raise awareness of you don't have to have a shitty tattoo. Straight up.
Totally. I think the thing is that I think that most women, number one, if they're in that situation, number one, I think they're already intimidated by the fact of checking themselves out. Then if they get themselves checked out, then if they have it, then if they go through the procedures, all of this laundry list of things that they have to pay for, that they're concerned about.
Take off work.
Totally. And then they get to a point where the last thing they think about is, how do I feel good about myself aesthetically anymore? Because I'm so swamped in bills. I'm so stressed in all of this. And I think what's so interesting about what you've done is that you're in a space now to where women who would normally not think about getting the tattoo because of all of the stuff that they're stressed out about, you're offering them something to where, number one, they can be educated about, all right, this is my situation. Not only can I figure out about how I can feel better about myself, but you've met enough women to where I feel like when they come into your office, it's no longer just a tattoo of a nipple. It's like, all right, you're getting this. Yeah. And guess what? You're not going to be drowning in debt because you want to do this.
Oh, God. Well, girl, I'm going to say, whenever they come to see me, whether it's in the hospital or if it's at my tattoo shop or, the studio, it is, they walk in, you have to fill out formal paperwork just to get a tattoo. And then they walk in and they start taking off their shirt. I'm like, hi, what's your name first? Yeah. It's not a doctory procedure deal. It's a tattoo. I'm putting ink into your skin, and I'm literally creating art. And people who get these tattoos or don't want the tattoos, they don't realize how much of a completion it is to get these tattoos. And it's necessary. And I honestly don't think of another type of a disease or something that would happen to where a tattoo, besides scar, like people have scars, they can get camouflage and stuff, that puts you back together. Like tattooing, like there's some things I'm thinking, like a belly button, you can tattoo the realism of a belly button. But this is putting back the only way that you really can with a tattoo. your areola is your nipples.
Yeah.
But
So
Yeah.
you said earlier about being spread pretty thin.
mm-hmm.
So my question to you is that since you are so personable, even when you're going through, like when I get my eyebrows done, you walk me through each step like an instructor.
There's a reason for that.
So, and I love it. So here's my question is that, do you think that what you do can be taught?
I teach it.
All right.
I'm going to plug myself so hard right now. Listen, I teach it. I teach hyperrealism. I trademarked hyperrealistic areola tattooing.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love
I
it.
did. And at first I was like, this as a tattooer, okay, our culture is you want to learn, you better earn it. And it's going to be hell to learn. And you're probably going to, most people quit because it's so hardcore. But that's just to be a tattooer, to be in that tattoo shop, right? Fast forward the story. And paramedical tattooing, it really has its own like space. Because permanent makeup, it is more like beauty and higher end because it's expensive just to get something so small. But it's, obviously what permanent makeup does. But I did not want to teach how to tattoo areolas because number one, it is a skill that you have to know how to tattoo. And then you have to learn how to tattoo scars. Oh, yeah. And then we're going to practice on women because you only get one shot to practice on these, the scarred skin for art. And I didn't want to because
it's scary.
I will put my name on anyone for teaching because I do. I'm an instructor of permanent makeup and body art. I do now teach with the year of this past year. Online learning, ridiculous e-learning. And I took some of those e-learnings just to see what it was all about. There's so many things that are skipped to talk about it. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So I am doing webinars and stuff eventually, but there's so many things that are missed. And I think it was because hustle, make that money and get that information out there. Yeah. I'm not like that. So in person is what I'm doing right now. And I train other tattooers, which needs to happen. If you're a tattoo artist and you know how to put ink into skin, and if you've tattooed scarred skin, let me teach you how the steps, the do's and the don'ts, the mistakes that I made, because I'm self-taught. Yeah. And I'm blessed that so many doctors gave me the opportunity to take over their patients. But I know I was better than the ones that were out there. Yeah. But I just worked my butt off just to get the art part and the steps of healing.
I'm loving learning about this whole process. I think more women need to understand what you're doing, how you're doing it, and we're going to talk about your event coming up, and then we're going to get personal with Miss Carrie Gutierrez. So if you want to hear more, listen to part 2. We've got 3-part series with Carrie Gutierrez. I'm sending you so much love, listeners. Please, if you like this, hit the like, subscribe. And if you want to follow Kara, she is on Kara Spot on Beauty on Instagram.